Super Rugby round 5, Friday game. We've only got one. It's a bit of a shift in the schedule this this week, with the Waratahs playing their game on Sunday. That gives us only the one game on a Friday. So we've got the Chiefs up against the Bulls. As you can see from their records, still pretty early on, but both teams got the one win. The Bulls with the 2 losses. According to all the bookmakers, this one's going to be a pretty one-sided affair, with the Chiefs supposed to win it by 18 plus, which is a pretty big call. We've already seen that the Bulls can beat New Zealand opposition. They've already done it this year, so that was a tight victory they got round 2 over the Hurricanes in their first week of play. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a harder prospect to do it in New Zealand. Doing it in South Africa is one thing, but doing it in New Zealand is certainly another. A key factor in this game, I think, is going to be the rest. So the Chiefs will be playing essentially on 13 days rest because they had the bye last week. Whereas the Bulls have got a pretty quick turnaround. They had a Saturday game, and now they're immediately over to a Friday game. So only the 5 days rest. So Rebels coach David Wessels last week in his press conference after their victory talked about having what he called a 6-day turnaround, which is essentially 5 days rest between games. And he said teams on that kind of schedule only usually win about 30% of the time. I don't have his numbers, but I'll take his word for it. So if that's true, that doesn't bode well for the Bulls having such a quick turnaround. One positive thing is they already did their trip from South Africa to Australia last week, so the time zone shift is not such a big one from Australia to New Zealand. So yeah, the Bulls are technically higher on the table, seeing as they got their bonus point in their loss to the Reds last week. So they're above the Chiefs on the table, on the log, but the Chiefs have only played the 2 games, one against the Crusaders, one against the Blues, so yeah, really can't read too much into the standings. For the Bulls, Odendaal is back, which is good. I think Johnny Kurtz is on the bench. Unfortunately, Nick DMAC is out, so he's kind of a big guy to be missing in their squad. For the Chiefs, so Tian Falcon once again starts at 10. He had the 15 jersey on the other week against the Blues, but he played at 10 as a really emergency last-minute change. So that means Damian McKenzie is back to his familiar 15 spot. So if you're a Chiefs fan, you're probably pretty happy that DMAC's playing in his 10 position. I know some people are a bit unsure about how Falcon's going to go. Did all right last week, so we'll see how he goes against the Bulls. But I mean, long term, if you're a Chiefs fan, you might be wanting Damian to be getting as many games in at 10 as possible. Angus Ta'avao is in the front row for the Chiefs, which is interesting because I think he was only wider training squad at the start of the season, but Laulala is out injured, so he makes the step up, and Yakane is starting for the Bulls. So scrum time will be an interesting battle. It's an interesting one in that the Chiefs have had the whole bye and they've got so many guys out injured, but there's not really that many changes in their team. Like, a week has not been enough. The extra week for these guys to get better. So Retallick is back. He's one who was a last-minute withdrawal in the Blues game with his eye, but he's back. So that's going to be a really interesting battle because the Bulls have got in Snyman and Diaka kind of one of the best locking pairs in the competition, and Retallick's one of the best locks in the world. So that's going to be an interesting battle for them. I think if you were going to beat the Chiefs, the time to do it was 2 weeks ago when there were like so many injuries and then 2 last-minute ones on top of it. So the Blues had that chance and they blew it. Now's still not a bad time to be doing it. Like, it's not as good as it would have been 2 weeks ago. But, I mean, they're coming off the bye, so there's the potential for them to be not quite as sharp as they might be. And like I said, there's not been that many guys come back into the squad. Guys like Sean Stevenson are still out. A lot of other guys as well. Sean Stevenson, I mentioned him because he was listed to play in the Blues game, but kind of withdrew at the last minute. The Chiefs will want a bonus point win. Like I said about the bookmakers predicting them to get a pretty big victory. The Bulls, I guess, have a chance to stifle that, to be a spoiler. But yeah, it's never easy. I don't think they've had a lot of success against the Chiefs in Hamilton for a while. So yeah, it'll be a hard one. Two teams with a bit of rivalry, just because I think ever since the Chiefs got beaten in that one final where the Bulls just really went to town over in Pretoria, the Chiefs have never quite totally forgiven the Bulls. So it will be an interesting one to watch. Chiefs heavy favourites despite their injuries. Bulls on that kind of short turnaround, maybe a few tired legs there. But yeah, if there's a chance for them to do it, I don't see why they couldn't do it this week. So far, Super Rugby seemed a little bit tighter. So we'll see if that kind of rings true with this game. Yeah, that's it. Just the one game. Let me know who you think's going to have a good one. I'm assuming most of you guys are going to back the Chiefs, but anyone thinking the Bulls could pull off an upset? I thought the Bulls might have done it last week against the Reds, but we're not able to get it done. So let me know your thoughts. We've got a lot more games to go through on the Saturday and then the one on the Sunday, so we'll see how things go. All right, guys, I'll talk to you again next time.